Hi, my name is Gil Robertson, president of the African American Film Critics Association. Today, we are more than thrilled to be talking to the creatives and the talent responsible for the amazing movie Till, about the life of Mamie Till, an American icon, and her son, Emmett.
Those pictures of your son change people's lives.
I can't look, Mamie. We have to.
The lynching of my son has shown me that what happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.
Hello, this is Samuel from JVS Media and Productions. I had the honor of checking this out at New York Film Festival, this powerful film. This question is for Danielle and CHINONYE. One of the most heartbreaking scenes is the viewing of the body, the slowly moving and just feeling out the body and the realization. For Danielle, from an emotional standpoint, there's so many different ranges of emotion you display with just your body language. And I commend you for that. But what were the challenges with that for you specifically as an actress? And then for you, CHINONYE, what was it about that scene? Because it seemed like there was a transition that happened for Mamie in that one moment. And I feel like the way you wrote it, it was very specific. And I wanted you kind of both to speak towards it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll dive. That was the scene that we actually did a director session for. So we've been, or I've been dealing with that in various, modalities for a long time. The tension rides the whole way, but that's, the one scene that you're like, oh, well, this is the day, this is the day. The difficulties is just to go through, is to have the experience. CHINONYE initially for that director session gave me, and I hadn't read the book in totality yet, Death of Innocence, but she gave me an excerpt of that, of Mamie's description of what that experience was like, about going into it with a kind of, not scientist, but like a distance approach, because if she did not, then she would not have been able to finish, and she had to do it alone because, or else they weren't going to let her do anything else alone. And so it's really just having the feeling, the experience of it. She was trying to see the memory. She's having memories, not to see who he was, to remember who he was in that whole experience, trying to break down myths about what happened to his body, trying to recall, these knees that connect to her lineage, or this happening where he walked to, the store to get something or to pay bills for her. This is a body that was filled with life and did things together, individually and as a family. And so that's what that reckoning is, and always underlying that, it wasn't just a certain kind of sadness, it was a building up of intent and getting to that intent, which was driven by a certain kind of rage, and rage looks all kinds of ways. And that's not something that she got to evince publicly always. So that's what CHINONYE and I always talked about, the public and private nature of who she was. And this is a very, very, very private endeavor, a private happening. And so, it's just releasing. I've been talking about release and mourning a lot. It's something that, as an American society or global society, that we haven't quite had the experience to do together. And so that's what that experience is. And I think people get the opportunity to recognize what a certain kind of breaking open a well experience that is. And it's just that hard. It's just that damn difficult. I don't know how to explain it any further.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much to say. I mean, that wail, the scene that precedes that, there is, the train station, where she's also crying. Danielle and I talked extensively about what is the emotional and psychological difference between Mamie's crying in the train station versus when she's looking at Emmett's body. And that word release was something that we came back to quite often, where at the train station, it is a guttural, visceral experience, but then in the funeral home, it is a release and then a decision. And directorially, my approach to that scene was to have the camera be a humanizing lens as opposed to an objectifying, voyeuristic lens. So, I wanted to center Mamie's emotional experience seeing her son's body. So that's why we begin the scene with a composition where the table is obstructing Emmett's body. And we're just preserving that private emotional experience Mamie is having with her son. And then when we do slowly see parts of Emmett's body, it is with Mamie. And we're seeing that the love and the tenderness and the reconnection that she's having with her son's body and with her son. And so that, as opposed to a more kind of distant, objective kind of look, and that is dehumanizing, And so that was always my approach. And editorially, my editor and I decided that we were going to hold off seeing Emmett's face and the full body until we're in the church. And then we try to replicate that experience of having this, like, the world see and receive and experience seeing his body. And so, yeah, so I knew that I wanted it to be humanizing, and I also wanted it to be sparing yet effective.
Yeah, one of the most powerful scenes I've seen this year. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi.
Filing out the top of the I can see the skyline, 50-mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind. Oh Lord.